Under neon bright lights when I see you dancing on the Polaroids. Just wanna have a good time, don't you? It all goes low, low, low.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am bringing you my second look using the Carnival 5, and this one is so beautiful. You guys know the first look that I did, which if you missed out on that video, I'll go ahead and link it right above, and it'll also be down below in the description box. So for that look, I stood more with the gray side of the palette, and I used a little bit of the lighter kind of pastel shades, but as kind of like an eyeliner. So of course I had to dip into the color. Like, how could I not? You guys know that I love, love, love color. I am so excited to show you guys how I created this look right here. My hair was all cute too. If you follow me on Instagram and you've seen the pictures, my hair was loose, same side part, but you guys, it is so hot in my apartment right now. So I'm super excited for today's video. Today I also kept the theme and I went with the Stacey Marie technique, except I of course did my own color story, and also we're using the Stacey Marie Be Perfect brushes. I have a few of my own brushes in here as well, like my Made by Mitchell and some of my Morphe, because there was some brushes while I was using these brushes from her set that I felt like personally were missing for me, and of course I'll talk about that in the video when you guys see me use a brush that's not in this bundle. But I did use a few of those. I do want to say though that I love this concept because it's like a little container. You're able to take the cap off, and I put all my dirty brushes in here, and these are all the clean brushes that I haven't used. So this is super convenient, you guys, because I can't tell you how many times I lose space on my table because I have brushes literally laying everywhere. So this is perfect. I don't have to put my dirty brushes back with the clean ones. I can put them right in here, and then I know at the end of the day I need to clean these brushes. We're gonna go ahead and jump in to today's video. Before we do, please don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up, especially if you like super in-depth detailed tutorials like this one. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and of course, without further ado, if you would like to see how to create this makeup look right here, then just keep on watching. So first things first, I just wanted to show you guys the Be Perfect and Stacey brushes. These are the ones that I'm using in today's video, particularly for this look. So you guys can see I'm going in with eyeshadow base. This is the P. Louise base in Rumor 2.5 as always, but I'm applying it around the entire eye area because we're going to be doing the entire eye before complexion. So the first color I'm going in with here is the shade Spacewalk, and I'm using that to go ahead and of course start to create my darkest to lightest layering, which I always typically do, but I usually start with a small brush like this, but I wanted to start off with a bigger brush just the way Stacey does. Moving on to the next shade, I'm going into the color Believer, and I'm going to use this to start to blend that harsh line that I created with that darkest purple. But then of course I go back in with the dark purple. You're going to see in this look there's a lot of back and forth when it comes to the colors and the blending, and I'm sorry for the noise outside. You guys know that I record these voiceovers by the window. But anyways, I'm now going into the shade Nebula, which is one of my favorite colors in the palette. I'm already about to hit pan because it's pressed very softly, but nonetheless it is just so beautiful. I'm using the shade Celestial on a fluffy brush, and like I told you guys in the intro, this is one of the brushes that I felt like we're missing in this brush collection. Something fluffy that's still small. A brush like this just helps me to apply color where I want it, but also because it's so fluffy, I'm still able to blend. So I went back in with that blue tone, and of course went ahead and blended. And you guys know I'm always trying to blend colors that just don't go together, okay? But we always make it work, and it always comes out bomb. So now I'm going in with this brush right here. This is a really nice, it kind of is like an eyeshadow brush. It's very dense and small and perfect to pack on your darkest shade. So I packed on the black eyeshadow in the palette called Dark Side, and then went back in with Spacewalk, which is the deepest purple, just to make sure everything is blended. And then I went back in with each color until I was pretty happy with my blend. Now let's get into the Cut Carver from P. Louise. You guys have been seeing this product on my channel quite a few times recently, and I have fallen in love. I'm just trying to learn the technique and trying to learn how to use it, and this is the best way I have found so far. So you're definitely going to need a flat brush for this product, and you're basically just going to glide it across your lid in whatever shape you're trying to create, because you're going to remove this product like so with a makeup wipe, and then you just go in and add your base, and it is a freaking masterpiece. The way this makes your cut crease look so damn sharp is unbelievable. So for the lid itself, I'm going in with the shade Fiction, and I'm sorry that this this specific clip is a little bit blurry. I didn't even realize. Then I'm going into the shade Earthbound right after that color, and then I'm also gonna go into the shade Nebula, of course. And to finish it off, I'm gonna go in with the shade Rosewell. Now, with this specific technique that you guys know I love to do, which is the different colors on the lid, you definitely need a bit more eye space for this, but also the trick is to just blend, blend, blend. Keep adding on each color, but also keeping them super tight in place and somehow just wiggling them on top of one another so it's nice and blended. So now I went in and added a little bit of liner to the base of my lashes, and I'm just going in with some black eyeshadow mixed with the dark purple just to blend out that edge. And now for the lower lash line, I'm going in with this P. Louise base in black, and I'm gonna add that to my bottom lash line. And then of course over top of that, I'm gonna go in with that deepest purple. And then I just took all the eyeshadows that I used in my crease and applied them to my lower lash line. Now the trick for Stacey's technique is just to make sure that you have that really beautiful rounded look on the outer corner of the eye, super close to where your eye is, so that way when you go ahead and clean it up like you're gonna see me do here, everything just blends and flows effortlessly. It is so beautiful. And I will say, because I don't do this technique often, this is not my technique, it's not the way that I usually do my makeup looks, it's very off at first. I looked at this look and I was like, I don't know. But it's not until you finish your complexion and do your concealer and all that kind of stuff, put on bronzer, blush, that you're like, okay, this is actually bomb. So let's get into complexion. I'm going in with the I think this primer has niacinamide in it. I'm not 100% sure, but I have been loving this, and honestly you guys, I think it's not even the formula. I think it's just like the actual component itself, like the packaging, the fact that it's a roll-on primer. I'm a little bit obsessed, and a little bit like a little kid in a candy store where like I can sit there and play with this thing for forever. So the formula is nice, but it's not anything extraordinary. Moving on to foundation, I'm going in with the kokiecosmetics, their HD Skin Perfecting Foundation. This foundation is so beautiful. Thank you so much to kokiecosmetics, if you guys are watching this video, for sending this my way. I was not expecting this color to be so spot on. You guys, they sent me one shade of this and the color is perfection. So shout out to whoever runs their PR team, because when I tell you that the color match was amazing, it was on point. So the foundation itself is really beautiful. It's more lightweight, so I did have to do 2 layers, but you can see it layered beautifully. For cream bronzer, I'm using the fentybeauty Match Stix in Mocha. You guys know it's my jam. I love it so much, and I just can't put it down because it just blends like butter. For concealer, I'm going in with the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. I don't see enough people talk about this, and it is so good. You guys, it's so bomb. It's really nice and full coverage. The formula is amazing. Doesn't make your under eyes look weird and dry and cakey. And you guys already know, I can express this a million times. Do not go in straight with your sponge trying to get super close to that edge, okay? Take the extra step, get a little flat brush, clean up that edge with your concealer, so that way when you go in with your sponge, you do not have to get too close to that eyeshadow, because the minute you go over it on accident, you have to fix it, you have to clean it up, you have to reblend, and it just becomes a whole hot mess. And with all the time you spent on the eyeshadow by this point, you don't want to have to go back and fix, right? So definitely make sure you take your time and do that first, and then you can freely go in with your sponge and blend everything out. By the way, I'm using the sponge that comes in the brush kit that Stacey created. So it comes with a towel for you to switch off the colors on your brush. You can just wipe it on the towel, and then it also comes with a sponge. I personally love the BPERFECT sponge. That's actually the sponge I always use, but I usually use the black one. But this one is really nice. However, I haven't washed it yet, so I'm curious to see if the red will bleed. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. For bronzer, I just went in with the H&B Cosmetics bronzer. You guys know I've been loving this one. Listen, don't come for me, but a really warm, dramatic, chisel bronzer look is just my thing, especially blown out. I don't like a super sharp bronzer moment unless I'm super in the mood for it. So yeah. Moving on to blush, I'm going in, like I told you guys, we're going to be using a P. Louise blush finally. The shade will be down below in the description box, but you guys, get into this freaking color. When I tell you I am obsessed with the color, the formula, and the fact that you guys know it's a make it or break it for me if a cream blush does not go over top of a set face, and you cannot apply it over powder without it disrupting your everything, like underneath, like your foundation, or lifting your powder. I don't want it. It's not a part of my collection, and this did not touch anything. You guys can see my skin still looks smooth. It's stunning. I am obsessed. I think the trick is to just not go straight onto your face, but put it on the back of your hand and then go in with the brush. So moving on to this Charlotte Tilbury face palette. I've been seeing a lot of iffy reviews on this, to be honest with you. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally, nowadays, I always use a cream blush before I go in with the powder, so I usually never have an issue with powder blush, and this wasn't any different. I am obsessed with this color. It is so beautiful, and the way that it complemented that P. Louise blush was just beautiful. It's like they were made for one another. So the blush, honey, the blush was blushing in today's video, and I am obsessed. I love me a pinky blush. It's so pretty. I was obsessed. So now that complexion is pretty much done, I wanted to go back in with my flat definer brush, and I just wanted to add a little bit more of that blue to the inner corner, and I felt like that was a brush that was also missing in the bundle. You guys know my favorite flat definer brush is the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe one. I will link it down below. It is just the best. So now that I've been here for about 3 minutes packing on all the lower lash mascara because the lower lash line was smoky AF, now I'm gonna move on to highlight. You guys, this highlighter palette from Dior is next level. I knew it was gonna be good, but I was a little bit iffy on the colors, but I mixed the light gold and the pink for today's specific look, and wow, so beautiful. And then you guys know I like to go over top with my blush just to make sure everything is blended really nicely, and that basically completes today's look. I went in and just fixed up my lip liner, and I am so obsessed. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about today's look. Thank you so much for watching, for all the support this year. I know I say this all the time, but I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for allowing me to follow my passion and build my artistry on my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.